Red Devils United, I'm Ashish.
I'm Sagar.
Well, today was supposed to be a redemption at Rochdale, but
Instead, it was a dismal performance from Manchester United.
well, before we move into our match discussion, please subscribe our channel, press the like button if you like our content, share the videos with every Manchester United fan that you know, and press the bell icon so that we know that you love our video and follow us. Now let's head into our discussion. Well, after a dismal 2-0 defeat against West Ham at the London Stadium, this game was supposed to be our redemption. This game was where we were supposed to come out banging some goals and get that good energy, some positivity going in the dressing room. But instead, it turned out to be another laborious performance as always. Manchester United came out with two holding midfielders in front of a four-man defense against a team that's 17th in League
One.
Not even the Championship, League One, two divisions below us, 17th in the table. But still, we were playing with a defensive mindset to not let in those goals. But we concede goals as always. So, Saga, do you think that was a good ploy by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to set the team up in the same fashion? Something that's not been working for us. He came out all guns blazing when he took charge of the team.
Right.
That was way back in December, January.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
ever since, just changed his tactics.
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago since we actually saw an United team actually attack at the opponent team. And given that we actually lost to West Ham 2-0 during the weekend, we expected to see youngsters for the Rochdale game. And we actually we saw that with Solskjaer picking up Tuanzebe as the captain, which was a huge positive for us. We saw Greenwood playing up front instead of Rashford because he got injured during the West Ham game. But the fact that, as you mentioned, we had two central defenders, central defensive midfielders playing against Rochdale is totally unacceptable because they are 17th in League One and we are playing at Old Trafford. We should be scoring at least 5 to 6 goals against them to prove a point so that we can go to the Arsenal game with a huge positive mindset. But instead, we played out a draw for the whole 90 minutes. And luckily, we went through on penalties. I was confident with Romero as the keeper because De Gea, as we know, is not such a good shot stopper in penalties. So the only positive I think from the game is that we got through to the next stage. That's it.
And to come to think of it, West Ham lost their fixture in the EFL Cup against another side called Oxford United. West Ham United also had made some changes, but they lost 4-0. Now that's something telling about Manchester United. We've fallen a long way down. We can't beat West Ham, but West Ham get beaten by another team that's nowhere in the Championship or League One, that's way below.
Yeah.
But they managed to beat them, and we had to scrape through with a 1-1 draw. Let's look at the team, that played in this game compared to the team that played against West Ham.
Yeah.
Against West Ham, we were complaining about McTominay and Matic in the center of the midfield.
Yeah.
I mean, that pairing is not good for United. McTominay, he's full of energy, but Matic is just the opposite. He takes away all of that and drags us all down. And on top of it, if you add Mata,
It's terrible.
we are nowhere in control of any team's midfield, and that is where we lack in all of those away games. So what do we do this game? We bring in Fred and Pogba in place of Matic and McTominay and put them as central defensive midfielders. I mean, a guy like Pogba, who is our creative outlet, playing in a deep lying role does not help us again.
For sure. Yeah. The only good pass we saw throughout the start of the season was Paul Pogba playing that ball to Marcus Rashford during the Chelsea game, and that's actually the quality which Pogba brings into the squad. And playing him in the deep position does not make sense at all because he needs that freedom to move around the pitch and actually make things happen. Because we, at some instances, we saw Paul Pogba inside the box where he missed a simple header which he should have scored. But yeah, that's what he brings to the table. And when you play him deep, it doesn't make sense. I don't know what happened to Solskjaer. Why did he actually change his tactics over a period of time? But that's I think what the problem is at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, we want that creativity in midfield. And what do? We bring in Jesse Lingard in that number 10 role. And that's supposedly his best position. And again, I did not see Jesse Lingard anywhere on the pitch. He was nowhere close to the ball. Either he's, lacking confidence, which he clearly does not, given his social media posts and, other things that he does apart from playing football. But I think this is a crucial season for Jesse Lingard. This is a time where he has to step up and give in good performances. I have a feeling next season,
I think he might be gone. If he plays like this, he might definitely be gone by the start of the next season for sure.
So another difference that we noted in this game compared to the game against West Ham was that we were moving the ball ahead more. I think it was more of the crosses, more of the interplay, just because Paul Pogba and Fred came into the picture and they brought with them some tenacity, some energy, some ferocity that we so miss when either of them is not on the pitch. And still there are question marks over Fred's position as a first team starter. Do you think he's a legible first team starter for the game against Arsenal, or would we still see McTominay or Matic making a comeback?
I think for me personally, I would play Fred every day of the week over Matic. But I'm pretty confident that we are going to see Matic and McTominay back for the Arsenal game, because given how Solskjaer has been declaring his team sheets, I am positive that we will see two defensive-minded midfielders again for Arsenal. And that might give Paul Pogba number 10 kind of a role. And we're not sure about that, but yeah, given the trend, how Solskjaer is with his tactics, for sure.
I'd love to see Paul Pogba in the number 10 role against Arsenal, because their defense is weak. They are in shatters. They're like, a pack of roller skaters on ice. They're Bambi on ice. That's how bad their defense is, and we need to take advantage of that. Do you think the current forward setup is good enough to get us those goals against Arsenal? Because we'll be without Marcus Rashford. Mason Greenwood is just 17 years old and he's played full 90 minutes today. Do you think he can step up and play in that game? Because we'll surely get Daniel James on the left. But the only question is, who will play on the right? Will it be Jesse Lingard or Andres Pereira or Tai Chong or Angel Gomez? Because there was some question mark over Gomez and Dalot. Presumably they're both injured and out of the game against Arsenal. So what do you think? How would we set up?
I would like to see Dalot on the right hand side, because he is kind of a player who actually tries to do something with the ball at his feet. And like you mentioned, Greenwood should be starting the game for Arsenal, because Martial might be a concern, because he will be rusty and he'll not be at pace with the game. So for sure Greenwood should be starting, because I understand where you're coming from, like the pressure on a 17-year-old, but Rashford was given his opportunity against Arsenal. If you remember, he scored 2 goals, right? So he definitely needs to step up. So that's a huge positive going forward. And I think Pogba in a number 10 role would be something exciting we can see. But again, 2 defensive midfielders is not something which I would like to see against Arsenal.
And did you notice this was the second time Sagar and I changed positions? Now that's something that United's wingers have stopped doing on the pitch. Do you think that affects the way we play games? Because Andres Pereira always stays on the right. He does not does not switch positions with either of the left wingers. Do you think we should start doing that more often? Because we saw Ashley Young and Aaron Wan-Bissaka switch positions. Now that's something that's rare. Left backs and right backs switching positions.
I think that's something which Solskjaer is trying to still figure out, like who's much more suited to which position, and that's kind of not working well with our forwards, because they do not know who is, like, the dynamical transition within the team is not working as well as Solskjaer wants to. But I think that might be a possible problem in terms of not having fixed positions for fixed players. So
okay, and before we move on, who do you think was the man of the match for today's game against Rochdale? I shouldn't be asking for a man of the match, but still.
I think for me it was Tuanzebe because he was given the chance to captain the team and he was very good with covering the runs against their forward. I understand that it's Rochdale, nothing big, but still it was a huge opportunity for him playing against his hometown, and that's I think what for me it was Tuanzebe. What about you?
I would give it to Marcus Rocco. I mean, that guy has brought in some dynamism to our left wing, much more than Ashley Young. But I'm just kidding. Not Marcus Rocco. For me, it's always Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I mean, that goal line save that was amazing. Had that ball gone in, we would have lost this game 2-1. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka, as always, he's amazing with his defense. He's a beast. You give him any opposition, he'll do his work and not trip about.
So I have a question for you. So do you think that this current Manchester United squad is the worst you have seen since you have been supporting Manchester United? And if so, what are the possible reasons?
This team, I mean, since I've been supporting United, we've always been top of the league. We've been fighting for trophies, be it the Premier League or the FA Cup or the League Cup or even the Champions League. You know, we've had some great experienced players who've done their duty well, and they've handheld, you know, youngsters in the team. But this squad, I feel, is one of the worst that I've seen because the senior pros, they're not somebody that our youngsters would look up to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the missing link between the team, you know, that played under Sir Alex Ferguson or even before him. But the team that's playing now, I don't see any motivation or any role model in that dressing room where, say, you know, Mason Greenwood walks in and is like, hey, Marcus Rashford, you know, that's my role model.
Yeah.
Or Jesse Lingard, that's my role model. Never.
Yeah.
So
I think Gary Neville mentioned that very appropriately, saying that this team actually lacks a spine in terms of not having experience and quality players enough in the squad whom the youngsters can look up to and actually raise their performances during the game. So yeah, for sure. I think it's for me, it's a combination of lack of quality players within the team, the tactics which Solskjaer is putting on the pitch, and the management within Manchester United, which is creating this whole downfall at this moment.
And what do you have to say about not Malcolm Glazer, but just the Glazer family in general? You know, news come out that they're willing to sell 15% of shares, but for no voting rights. Also, they've accepted that this United squad will take at least 3 more seasons to become stable and to start fighting for trophies. Now they've accepted that, you know, they can no longer just bring in stopgap, you know, players or coaches and just hope for the best. We need a project. We need a proper structure in place to be at the levels where we once were. What do you have to say about that? 6 transfer windows to be back to our perch again?
I think it might actually take 3 to 4 transfer windows, but the fact that Ed Woodward will again be in control of the transfers we are making does not make sense, because he is very good at the business aspect of the club, but he does not know anything about the footballing aspect. So I think we definitely need a director of football, and I think there is news coming out saying that Ed Woodward actually does not want a director of football at this club, and he thinks that everything is rosy. But I think it's just stupid of him to think that we don't need a director of football.
Before we end this discussion, Sagar, do you have any final thoughts about the game against Arsenal this weekend? Do you think it's a good time to play Arsenal right now, or would we have been better served playing another opposition maybe?
I think it does not matter whom we play actually at this moment, because we are absolutely crap. But I think Arsenal, they are struggling with their defense, but they have a good attack, and we have sort of a good defense, but we are struggling to score goals. I think it would be a good battle, and I think the team which has a better midfield that day would definitely win the match. But I don't see anything beyond like a 0-0 or a 1-1.
Well, that's a really stringent draw for me. But yeah, I second Sagar as well. I feel United's finding it really tough to score goals, especially, you know, in the absence of our strikers. I feel Arsenal might nick it 2-1,
Yeah.
given our performances and our lack of control of the midfield.
Yeah.
Well, that's it from us, Red Devils United. As always, please subscribe our channel, spread the word amongst all the other Manchester United fans, give us a like, send us some comments, let us know what you feel about the current state of affairs at United. And before we move ahead, do press that bell icon to subscribe to all our future content. Until Arsenal, ta-da!
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and also press the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest happenings regarding Manchester United.